Welcome, dear viewers. Are you ready to learn about the fastest planes in the world? Let's get started. So no, 10 Sukhoi Su-27 speed to 1,500 meters per hour. Country of origin: Russia. The Americans call this flanker. The plane. This fighter plane was launched in Russia in general 1985 and was designated to work under his management, Soviet Union, and today this aircraft, one of the main military means of the forces, Russian Air Force, as used by the armies of other countries. Others, such as Belarus, China, and India, and Kazakhstan. Vietnam began developing this aircraft in a year 1969. It is said that Russia began manufacturing it after that. Launched by the United States of America, its fighter jet is called the USA F-15. Although the first aircraft of the type was more fearsome than American fighters. The type was weaker than American fighters. Over time, its designers continued to develop it. It became one of the best fighter aircraft in that era. During this period, it became superior to all fighter aircraft in the world during the century. The type. The second largest plane is the McDonnell Eagle Douglas F-15 speed, 317 kph. Country of origin: United States. The American developed this aircraft over a period of time. The Vietnam War was allocated to military operations. Tactically, the Eagle plane has become one of the most powerful fighters in the world after its victory in many battles during her service period. The fighter is very fast. The fighter is flying very fast. It can fly at the speed of sound, low altitudes that hinder stability. Airplanes are sometimes also capable of this fighter, breaking the speed of sound during takeoff. Down to up in a straight line was fired. This plane is generic 1972 and is still used today by everyone. The US Army and the Japanese defense system, the Royal Saudi Army, and this plane remains. The warplane is one of the most distinguished aircraft in the world where you did not suffer any loss during the date of her recruitment until today. The first 10 aircraft, the F-111, had a high-speed difference, 2,655 kph. Country of origin: United States. The United States during the 60s of the century. The past had both the Air Force and the Navy. The American forces are looking for a new military vehicle. For her appointment in military affairs, she wanted the troops. The Air Force is a high-speed fighter plane, and the capabilities of enabling it to fly at high altitudes, low, and avoid detection by radar devices and escape of the missiles and the naval forces lost. She wanted a plane capable of repelling missiles coming from warships and keeping them away from fleets. Despite their desire, the two different planes were created by Airpark to meet their needs. Did not employ these naval forces, the plane, but the Air Force had 500 aircraft of this type were recruited and used. The planes were on several strategic missions during that period. During this period, the fighter was also exposed to a lot of damage, structural developments, and changes over time. It developed its own aviation systems to be the same, lower costs and flexibility, larger. McQuan MiG plane, 31 speed, 357 kph. Country of origin: Russia. One of the Russian sayings is thus that something new is something old that people have forgotten to describe. This saying is appropriately made. This fighter was launched in a year 1975. It was designed specifically for aircraft airports. American spy that was flying above icy deserts of the Soviet Union. It was a very important military tool for him. Union during the 1980s. Some people think that this type of aircraft he passed his time, and that was after the departure of his intended purpose, dedicated to pursuing American aircraft during the Cold War period. The plane was not. It is still used today and is being developed. To keep pace with modern technology, the plane has become. Today, it is dedicated to transporting high-speed missiles. The sound and the plane has amazing firepower. Markel that the Russian plane's freedom mean. It is said that new Russian aircraft are being designed, using the same launch system as this one. The plane. Airplane No. 6 is an XP-70 aircraft. Valkyrie speed, 3,310 km per hour. Country of origin, United States. American year 2020, the work of the American Museum. The Air Force maintains this aircraft. The giant bomber was taken care of by workers with the vehicle in a superior manner, since it is the last plane from XP Valkyrie model globally launched. The plane was designed in the 60s of the last century. The plane was designed in the 60s of the last century, especially for flying over the Union territories, Soviet and strategic operations. In that area, the aircraft was equipped with a system flight designated for high altitudes in case it arises nuclear war, as this system enabled it flying at high speed at an altitude of 21 meters above the Earth's surface. According to the space agency, the American NASA said that the pointed shape of the wings, the plane is allowed to accelerate its thrust. It penetrates the speed of sound, which increases its speed more and more during the flight. Later, it was terminated, and the process of developing this plane after it was lost. One of them was during an air collision that led to it exploding. Today, only one of these planes remains. Type and preserve the remaining aircraft of this type at the U.S. Air Force Museum after it will be removed from service in a year 1969.